So I'm really excited that you're all here today. Actually, it's we're going to cover some really big stuff. So let's just give a couple minutes for everyone else to jump in. But I'm ready to go, and I see you guys are here ready to go. So let me just connect and find out where everyone's from. This is obviously an amazing session. I don't normally do, and I don't think I'm going to do it again. So I'm excited to be here with you guys. Some people from Scotland, the UK, you guys are up late. Arizona, Utah, California, Oakland, Gold Coast, Atlanta. Beautiful. I'm just so grateful for technology like Zoom for us to connect and share this knowledge all across the world. So really grateful, happy, excited to be here. Christchurch, New Zealand, Massachusetts, North Carolina. Nice. I went to Otago Uni. I can, Mary. I can see all. I can't see your face. No, I can just read what you're typing in. Yeah. Cool. Got some Adelaide, Queensland, California. Wow. So cool. So cool. People from all over the world are on here, which is really exciting. So I'm excited about that. Just kind of ask, who's is this our first time interacting? Type in a number 1 if this is our first time. Wow, cool. Lots of ones. Welcome. First time. That's amazing. That is amazing. First time live. Good. Hey, Laura. San Diego. Love San Diego. Used to live in PB, Pacific Beach, for a while. Yeah, nice. So Austin, Texas. Yeah, I lived in Austin, Texas too. Cool. Great to have you here. Nice. A lot of you are typing in the chat box and it's just coming into me. So you can change that so others can see it as well if you like, or you can just type into me. That's completely fine. I'm just very excited. I'm grateful to be here. We're going to cover a lot of stuff today, a lot of things. So can I just ask, how many of you are here because you saw some guy pop up on your YouTube or Facebook and he brought 2 women out on stage and did a Superconscious recode? Oh, it's so fun. It's exciting for me to hear that, because you know what's true about that, and just tell me if this is true for you. Tell me if this is true. You skip so many ads, like you skip them. Is it true? But something about that one pulled you in. And I just love that about you. It means there was so much energy in that session, huge shifts. One of those 2 women is now a speaker out doing her thing. The other one just really enjoyed the session, and it was a big shift. And for me, it was such it was a thing that I put off for a long time. If that makes sense. I was so busy building my other companies, doing what I was doing. I put that off for a long time. In fact, I waited 6 months until I released that video. I waited ages. I shot it. I'd done the live sessions. I waited ages. But the amazing thing is when the universe wants you to do something or be a certain way, you simply can't hide from it. Who's found this to be true as well? You can't hide. As soon as I put that out there, within the first 3 months, we'd hit over 1 million views. And that's when I decided to turn it into an ad. Now we've got over 3.5 million people that have seen it. And it's absolutely massive. It's that video and YouTube and Facebook it's completely changed my life. It was something I never thought I would share, but this Superconscious thing just kept on rattling to me. I spent 15 years in different walks of personal development and self-exploration and spirituality and businesses, building businesses. And then through some unfortunate events, life kind of got tipped upside down, and I ended up getting 3 mentors in a row. And weirdly, all 3 mentors talked about this one thing, the Superconscious, from different angles. It was so weird. I had one that talked about it from healing, one that talked about it from creation, and one who's a self-made billionaire talked about being super conscious with intuition. And it was like really weird. It's like, just imagine for 2 years, 3 different mentors working one-on-one with them, all saying the same word. None of them knew each other. And it was so strange because out of all the mentors or coaches I could have found, those are the ones I found. And when I did research on it, I found that Edgar Cayce, the sleeping psychic, was the first one to say superconscious, and Carl Jung said it, but no one's really explored this field of information called the superconscious. And I guess it's for us to do. Hey, I guess it's for us. So I'm very excited, grateful to see you here. There is a lot of you on here, So I'm not going to be able to get to all your questions, but I love that you guys can just engage with each other. So it's nice that you see everyone else's comments, but there's 275 of you on here right now. So if everyone comments and expects me to be able to see it, it's simply not going to be able to have it. So please enjoy the chat box. There is a Q&A place here as well that I'll try to get around. And I hope that that's okay, but I'm just excited to be here with all of you. So can we get some energy into this session? Shall we get into it? Shall we get started? Type in a yes, put the little hand up, whatever it is you could do. I don't know what screen you're seeing it on. Maybe you're watching this on YouTube, wherever you are. Just give us a bit of energy in the room. Let's get into this. I'm very excited. If you don't know, my name is Christopher M. Duncan. I'm very grateful to be here. The work that I'm going to share with you has changed my life. It's changed tens of thousands of people's lives who have joined our coaching programs, and it's going to change yours. And here's what I want to say. You must understand how to use structure and tension to be able to create a life you love without struggle. Now, just let me ask you, are you a person like me who's been seeking the good life or the way to create it for a long time? Have you been to lots of different courses or certifications? You've read lots of books, you've studied university, trades, you've put your life into this. And I'm really grateful that you're now here getting this information from me. So I want to ask you a big question. What is it that you really want from life? What do you really desire? Like, what is the perfect dream life for you? And just spend a moment just ruminating on that, or typing in, like, what is your true end result? For me, the most important thing is living my perfect average week, a week that I would live no matter what. No matter what, I'd live that week. And so I want to ask you is, what is your biggest vision of yourself, of your life? Like, what are you here for? Gee, Chris, we're only getting started, man. What are you like? What are you about? What are you about? Changing lives, spreading light. Yeah. What is life for you? Like, what are you here for? I think it's a very important question, an orientating question. Yeah. So what are some of the things that you desire to make an impact, to help others, to make money, have a great family? Yeah. Humans are very predictable. Here's another question is, what would your life be like if money was no object, right? If you didn't have that in your life, if you could just go, what would you do? Who would you be? How would you be? What would you do? Like, literally, what would you do if money was no object? And so my question to start us off is, why is life for most of us not like that? Okay, why don't we have that? Like, you're smart enough to like my video. So I think you're smart. You're smart. True. You do work. You work hard. Why don't you have that? Why don't you have that? See, we've all got a reason why we don't have it. You see, it's limitations, it's beliefs, it's fears, it's emotions, it's, I'm in the wrong place. Oh, the GFC, the COVID-19, this, that. I'm working on it, Chris. But I just want you to take a moment. Why don't you have it? Excuses, belief. And so here's my question is, who told you that that is why you don't have it? Who told you that? See, we think that it's us that told us that's the reason, but I want to start off with a very, very, very big, groundbreaking, revolutionary piece of information. We have been 100% misled when it comes to how to create things that we love. See, we live in a really, really, really strange structure, a strange world, and it has got things all wrong. We've been misled by teachers, family, society, personal development teachers. In fact, the government, everything is broken. And I want to explain why to start off so that you know, even if you only stay for the first 20 minutes, that this was the most valuable session that you've ever had. So here's the structure that most of us live in. Okay, we live in a reality. This is the current reality, and then this is the desired reality. And we all believe that the desired reality will be better. True? This is like the most unwritten rule in society is that, oh, so we just got started, is that the future will be better than the now. And this is really interesting, is this structure is everywhere. But what we miss, and I want you to hear this, is that as soon as you're in that structure, you're actually saying that the now is not enough. True? If the future is going to be better, then the now is not enough. Now, this structure is the number one reason why it doesn't matter how many courses you go to, how much work you do, how much education you get. If you're simply in this structure, you will never, ever, ever be able to get to where you want. And here's why. This current reality of not enough becomes your identity. I'll change colors. This becomes your identity. You become, and our whole society has become a society of not enough. Okay, not enough. In fact, we are so far stuck in the structure that we don't even know we're in it. You see, if you go back 100 years and look at what we have now, and we're still saying, well, it's not enough. It's not enough. I've got to have this. If I have this, then it will be better. If I have this, if I have this, if I have this. Here's the problem, guys. As soon as you have this identity that the now is not enough, you move to the new reality. As soon as you move to this new reality, let's say that it's love, it's money, let's say it's making an impact, let's say that it's health. Okay, let's say it's money, love, all these things. As soon as you've coded this up, is that I'm this, but when I become that, it will be better. Your identity has to die. See, this person is not this person. So what happens is as soon as you start moving towards it, at some point, your identity goes, but if I actually have that, I'm going to be different, therefore I'm going to have to die. The identity finds a way to bring you back. Do you get it? And so the problem is this structure 100% traps us. And every single personal development course that I went to, every single teacher I went to, every society I look at says this. And this is what gets us in this oscillating loop. This is what gets us in an oscillating loop. So we go, the now isn't enough. If I have that, it will be better. So we live in a now of frustration. We live in a now of scarcity. We live in a now of not enough, not worthy. And so what happens is that this better life, instead of being frustration or scarcity, it's going to be abundance and joy. And instead of it's going to be worthy. Can you see these two do not equal? Do you see these two identities do not equal? So what happens, guys, you go, I want this. And as soon as you move towards it, you start going, something comes in and sabotages you back. See, it is so prevalent right now that I have to be here telling you about it. You literally cannot get what you want because the identity that you are, that you've created, that you've been, is in conflict with your goals. Does this make sense? Your identity is in conflict with your goals. So here's the assumption that everyone makes. What's the assumption everyone makes? You guys have all said it. Well, I've got to fix myself. True, I got to fix, improve, change beliefs. There's something wrong with me. Here's what everyone says to me. I want you to get, they go, well, Chris, I've been trying to create love and I never, or money, or a great relationship, or impact, or be a best-selling author. I've been trying to create it for a long time. Chris, I've been to so many courses. I've done all the work. Mate, I've been to Joe Dispenza, Bruce Lipton. I've done Ho'oponopono, NLP, EFT. I've done the tapping. I've done Reiki. I've done ayahuasca. I've changed my diet. I've gone on retreats. I've done all these things, but I still don't have it. Why don't I have it? And then they say this to me. They go, well, I must be the common denominator. They say, I must be the common denominator. It's me, they say. They say, oh, it must be me. And then what happens, as soon as they say it must be me, it makes sense. Well, I'm the one that's always in there, so it must be me. There's something I got to fix about me. And then some wacky gurus, personal development people say, yeah, it's you. Yeah, you got to fix you. You got to change your beliefs, change your this, change your that. You got to fix yourself is what they say. And they think it's true. They think it's true. They think that if you fix yourself enough, you will pop out into a new reality and have everything that you want. And they really believe it. See, they're invested in it. They're invested in it. They did it. But the truth is, it's just a false narrative. It's a false narrative. It is just not true. It is just a plausible story that sounds true. I want you to really hear this. What is the real common denominator? Is it really you? The real common denominator, think about it. 50% of divorces, over 50% of marriages end in divorce. How many people do you know that have started to lose weight only to fall off? How many people do you know who've been able to keep the money and actually go from working class to highly successful and actually abundant and get free? How many people do you know? How many societies keep on saying the next politicians come in and say, in the future, it's going to be better. But when is it ever better? When do we actually get there? Is it really common denominators? Guys, we changed the characters. We changed the people that are running the country. We changed the person we're in relationship with. We changed the diet. We change, but what's the one common thing? An oscillating structure. We have it for a little bit, we lose it. We have it, we lose it. Think about it. Write this down and really own it. The common denominator isn't you. If it was you, you would be the only one not able to achieve these goals. You see? True? It's simply not you. But we've all been put into this situation that we think we got to fix us to get something. And today I want to prove to you that's simply not true. You've been misled. First by society. It's going to be better when? No, it's not. They said it will be better when we have automobiles and electricity and washing machines. It will be better when? It will be better when we have Wi-Fi and now 5G and when we have this. It will be better then. It will be better then. It will be better then. How many more generations do we need to put in the same structure? It will be better when? Guys, a billionaire 100 years ago couldn't even have even a fraction of what we can have today for free. But we're still in this mindset of it will be better when, it will be better when, it will be better when. Does this make sense, guys? So society, okay, what about family? Your family tells you, oh, you're good if you do this, you're bad if you do this. Oh, so you create a structure. Teachers, do this good, do this bad, it'll be better. Yeah, when you get here, you just got to do this, you got to do this. We're all living for some future that we never can ever get to. It's like we're chasing it and we just can't get there. You see, we can't ever have it. The government, and then the worst is the personal development industry. The worst. You turn up and the first thing they say to you is, what do you want your future to be? You got to fix yourself to have it. Then what's even worse, they say, you know what we're going to do to get you there? We're going to do an archaeological dig. We're going to go all across all your past lives, Akashic records, everything, because something in there is stopping your future. And instead of just letting the past go and moving forward, we have to go and try on this huge riddle and spend hundreds or tens of thousands of dollars to try to figure out what was in there that stops us from there. And then that becomes our obsession. Instead of just going for what we want, our obsession becomes fixing ourselves, being perfect, having the perfect beliefs, having everything cleared. Instead of just having what we want and realizing that we are in the image of the Creator, supposed to be creating. There is simply no link between beliefs, mindset, how you see yourself, and success. There's simply no link. Let me prove it to you. We've been told since the 1960s, when they came in and they said, you got to have self-esteem, you got to think positive, all this stuff. But I'm telling you right now, there's no link between all this rubbish and actual success. I'll prove it. Some of the most successful people on the planet never had to do any of that, okay? Think about this. Business icons like Ray Kroc from McDonald's or Saunders, General Saunders from KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken, despite obvious personal flaws, were successful. How about some of the big business people in the world right now, like Elon Musk, Zuck, Trump, Oprah? They're not focused on trying to be perfect. They are creating while imperfect. Does this make sense? In music, Mariah Carey said, I've always had real low self-esteem. And I still do. David Bowie says, I have enormous self-image problems. And I mean, we could talk about Lady Gaga, who cries before she goes on stage because she still feels like a loser. And obviously Michael Jackson didn't go and work on himself. He was able to create. None of these obvious things that they could work on stopped them being successful, right? We could go on and on. Jackson, Kurt Cobain, Amy Winehouse, amazing creators who obviously had other things going on. But here's the point that I'm making is that their beliefs about themselves didn't stop them being successful. Does this make sense? And if you read the biographies of successful people, here's what you won't find. You simply won't find anyone who had to go and just continually work on themselves as much as we think we might need to be able to get somewhere. They simply just did it, okay? They simply just did it. Lincoln was depressed. Helen Keller wrote books. She was blind and deaf. Beethoven released his best symphonies when he was deaf. Steve Jobs apparently wasn't a nice guy. J.K. Rowling was a single mom trying to figure everything out. She wrote Harry Potter. Einstein didn't speak till he was 4 years old. If that happened today, he'd be on so many different medication and pills and in special classes. Hemingway had a drinking problem. Churchill, Eleanor Roosevelt, Amelia Earhart, Edison, Elvis, Hitchcock, Walt Disney. Guys, the list just goes on. You do not need to be anything other than you to be able to create. We have been misled. How's that? Are you still here? Let me know in the chat box. How's that going? You do not need to fix yourself to create what you love. I am not going to be like others who are in the personal development world and going to tell you that you have to keep on fixing yourself and then buy my programs. You don't. It's just structure. It's just structure. You do need to learn how to be in the right structure. How's that for a 20-minute warm-up? You can be anything you desire and create anything you want. If you choose to be happy, you can create. If you choose to be sad, you can create. See, there's these two worlds, and I'm going to explain this in depth so you truly get it. It's not correlated. I'm so annoyed when I see these people who talk about how you must feel abundant and activate abundance codes in order to somehow achieve money success. The only people I've ever heard say that are people that then sell you a course to activate those codes. They're sitting in Bali, Indonesia somewhere telling you that's what you should do. It's simply not true. When I sat down with my mentors and really understood money, they said to me, Chris, money's a measurement of value that you give to a person in a way they want to pay for it. Money's structure, brother. Money's structure. And I just want to do something here. I wasn't planning on doing this. I want to do something because I think a lot of times when you're talking to someone, you're talking to people who haven't been able to go out there and actually do it and actually create something. So let me grab this for a second. This is my year-to-date sales in my company. You can see it says 1.6 million. You can see here, month to date, this month, you can see there, $399,000. See that? Now, why am I showing you that? I don't care, it doesn't change me, and I'm going to explain that to you. I want you to get that. It's structure, you see? Now, why that? Why show you that? No, I don't know. I just picked it up off my phone. It's a measurable outcome that someone who grew up in a working class family was able to shift my reality. But I want to make sure you get this. I took so long in the wrong direction, in the wrong structure, got myself so lost in order to make one simple shift, got a coach that helped me get in the right structure. Once I was in the right structure, everything resolved itself. And that is what I'm going to teach you today. It happens so fast. Once you understand the new structure and you stop trying to resolve your identity like that, my friends, really, millions of views on YouTube, income, living in this beautiful location, everything else, not because of me, because of structure. Does that make sense? Because of structure. So what is structure? What is a structure? Here's what a structure is, okay? It is a group of parts working together. It is a group of parts working together, okay? That's what a structure is. Now, some structures flow. Some structures are stuck and some structures oscillate. Okay? Some structures oscillate. And so let's really dive deep into structure, because here's the truth. If you're in a structure of trying to fix yourself, you will always oscillate. You will always oscillate. Okay? See, you're in a current reality and you want to be in a desired reality. Okay, so you're here and you want to be here. And let's say that you want to create more. Let's talk about money. So you want to have money, and if you had the money, you would feel abundant. And if you're over here and the amount of money you have is little, you go, that's going to be better. And right now I feel frustrated. And I feel scarce. And so what happens is, as I've told you, this structure becomes your identity. So as you move towards it, the identity wants to stay being that. That's who you are. Over here is completely different. So there's this invisible wall that never allows you to have it. And so you just end up, I got to fix myself. I got to resolve this. It's not good enough. And then I go here. This structure here continues this pattern, continues it, and you oscillate. You can put this in every single person that I work with. It's not about fixing them. It's a different structure. And that different structure is what we've got to be into. And I grew up like this. See, I grew up as a basketball player. I played for New Zealand. And in basketball, back in the early 90s, it was be like Mike, right? Be like Mike. And so I'm being a white dude trying to be like, it's just not ever going to happen. Be like Mike, right? Change myself. So I really got into this idea that I had to actually fix this. Now, quick story, huge story. This last month, we had the biggest breakthrough with one of our clients. This man has been blind for 20 years. And this month he sent us in a video, he takes off his dark black glasses and says, I can see the screen. I can now see. He's so emotional. Amazing man. If Dean, if you're watching this, I love you, brother. Using this work, he was able to shift huge. He lost a huge amount of weight and he regained his sight after 20 years. But we did it not by fixing him. And guys, you watching this in the future, you'll see on the YouTube channel, we've got an amazing testimonial from just amazing. But we didn't do it by focusing on trying to fix. Instead, we've got into a different structure called the creative structure. You saw his post? Yeah, huge. The creative structure. Okay, so let me explain the creative structure, okay? When I first started to explore this, I was reading a book by Lynn McTaggart, okay? And her book's called The Power of Eight, okay? The Power of Eight. Now, these are blue blocking glasses. These are because I don't like the unnatural light coming off the screen, yeah. So what's it talking about? Lynn McTaggart's book, Power of Eight. Has anyone read it? Such a cool book, okay. So she talks about how you can have 8 people in a circle, 1 person in the middle. 8 people in a circle, 1 person in the middle. And if you send positive intention, you're then going to be able to shift them and shift all these experiments about how 8 people in a circle, 1 in the middle, and 8, the number 8, like 8 people, like 7, 8, 9. Everyone's like, what is that accent you got? Anyway, so in this circle. And so what she found is if you set a positive intention, then they would shift and they would have these huge shifts. But here's what she also found. Everyone on the outside of the circle sending the positive intention to that person also had these massive, amazing shifts. Okay. And so when she wrote about it, I mean, I love her, by the way, and I'm so grateful to be able to stand on the shoulders of all these giants in the spiritual personal development, seeking. It's so cool. Amazing woman. She said it was the rebound effect. Because of all these people sending love, there was a rebound effect. But here's what she missed. All the people on the outside didn't look at the problem. Instead of trying to solve a problem, they got into a new structure and just focused on creating. They just went into a healing energy, stayed in it long enough, and they are the ones that had bigger shifts than the ones in the middle. And it wasn't a rebound. It's a different structure. Okay. So I'm going to make sure you guys by the end of today understand the structure that allows you just to flow. Okay. So write this down. We always take the path of least resistance. It's very, 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 very important. We always take the path of least resistance. So if you're in a structure and if you're not able to get somewhere, it's because of your structure and the way that it's set up in your mind, okay? And this is big. Once you get out of your old oscillating structure of this problem solving, I've got to fix myself reality, you operate in a different structure, things are just able to move much, much, much better, okay? And here's what we all have to understand. As an energy, this is universal principle, we always take the path of least resistance, always. However, we can create new paths of least resistance using something called tension, okay? Tension is the invisible force that hold structures together. Think about it. Tension on all your muscles holds you upright. Does that make sense? Tension. Tension is what is the magnetic force which moves things when you create tension structures. So I want you to get this and understand how to just succeed. One thing that I found is having a one-on-one coach that actually made sure I was in the right tension structure created the most success out of everything in my life. Can I just ask, how many of you would be interested in having someone there just keeping you in the right tension structure, one-on-one, just working on you to move forward? We're going to do a bit of a demo today. I'm going to show you how to get in the right tension so that you just move forward towards what you want. So I want to make sure this is really clearly understood. You don't fix yourself. You've just got to get into a new structure. See, water, ice, and steam are the same. They're just in a different structure, okay? A rocking chair is made of wood. Doesn't matter how much you push it forward, it rocks back. Does this make sense? Doesn't matter how, it's made of wood. It's going to rock like this. The same material can be turned into a fence. A fence, it's the same wood, but that structure is stuck. It doesn't move. Does that make sense? Right? You can take that same structure, turn it into a baseball bat, and you can throw it and it will move easily. You see? So a lot of us are in places and in structures that will never, ever, ever allow us to get out of it. So here's the common structure. This is my current reality. This is my desired reality. Okay. So I want to have that. I want to have this. But in order to do that, I must fix, improve, educate, etc., etc. I must fix beliefs. I must do all of that. And if I do this enough, I'll suddenly pop out into my desired result. Who's seen this structure before? Who's seen this structure before? Now, write this down. Silent instructions. Write these two words down. Silent instructions. Invisible instructions. Invisible instructions. Invisible instructions. All aspects of your consciousness are always listening. Are always listening. Okay. So when you say you want to do something and then don't do it, what's the silent instruction you're actually giving yourself? When you say you want to do something, but then you have fear and you need to go to a hypnosis coach, what's the silent instruction you're telling yourself? When you say, oh, life will be so much better when I have money compared to now, what's the silent instruction you're giving yourself? You see? Anything you do, even if it's brilliant, right? If it's a superconscious work with me, if it's meditation, if it's Dispenza's work, if it's Greg Braden, Bruce Lipton, Psych K, Emotion Code, it can be the most brilliant work on the planet. But if you do it from a structure of I'm doing this to fix myself, what's the silent instruction? And guess what? As soon as you do this, this silent instruction, this becomes your identity. That becomes your ID. You see? And as soon as that becomes your ID, your body will do everything it can to ensure that you stay locked in with your identity. and you wonder why every time you go to another course, you still don't get to the end result. It's because the structure won't let you get there because of the invisible instructions that you've given to yourself. I'm going to look at someone just said, well, I've got to break that structure. No, we just got to be in a new structure. So let's just talk about this. I'm going to move topics now, but I'd love you guys to feed this back to me. What are you really getting from today? Why are you still here? Why is this still worth your time? Why are you loving this? I mean, this is free, right? You don't have to stay. I'm going to go through some big stuff. I'm going to share how to get into a new structure. Then we're going to do the wisdom process. But I want to hear from you. What are you loving from this? What is landing? What's going to make the difference? And I'm going to read them out in a sec. But water must flow in the structure of its riverbanks and along the lines of gravity. Okay. Water, no matter if you do whatever work you do on water, it simply won't flow upstream. It won't flow upstream. Does that make sense? It's not in the right structure. And it doesn't really, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter if over here is the life you want. If you're in this riverbank, if this structure, water can't just jump over here. You see, it's in this structure. If your structure is a rocking chair, which is the fix-it is always a rocking chair. You will never be able to have it because your identity just won't want to die. Your identity will let you get really close and then it will find a way to pull you back because it won't give up. It'll find a way. So you'll get a health problem. Your relationship will go crap. You'll make a bad business decision, but it will do something to keep you back. Does this make sense? Right? It just can't. It's structural. And so here's something is structure has integrity. A skyscraper won't get pushed. All right. But if you change the structure, you turn that skyscraper into little pieces of sand. It's the same material, the sand of that skyscraper, you can push it. So when we coach and work with someone one-on-one, yes, we do the superconscious work that we'll do today that you've seen, but I want you to hear this. Structure is the steak. The superconscious you've seen me do is the sizzle. And I'm going to show you how to get into the right structure. That's what we're going to shift into now. So, there's the superconscious. Thanks, Kelly. The superconscious is simply the sizzle on the steak. And actually, I've got a big announcement I'm going to make today is we are, for the first time, taking on one-on-one coaching clients. And if that's something you want, I believe we have about 30, 34, 35 spaces available to work with people one-on-one on structure. When you get into the right structure, yeah, Chris, who else wants that, by the way? I'll tell you about it at the end once we've done a whole heap of stuff. But it's brand new. It's brand new. I think we've only got like 6 or 7 people in it. I wasn't going to do it, but I just got some amazing coaches, amazing people who really want to do it. So we're in this new, when you get into the new structure, it can resolve itself. If you're simply in the wrong structure, doesn't matter how well intent you are, you will always oscillate. Okay. And this is why not as talented people end up becoming the most talented musicians. Sorry, the most successful musicians. This is why there's people not as smart as you that are doing what you want to do. Does this make sense? It's because it's not personal. See, we've made everything personal. As soon as you make it personal, you're in the structure of trying to resolve your identity, which I'll explain right now. We're going to go into the human journey. So time to shift gears a little bit, but I hope you really enjoyed structure. Structure is so important. And at the end of today, I'm going to talk to you about how to get in the creatives. Actually, I've got one last bit. Yeah, before I get into the human journey, is your focus equals your structure, and your structure equals your reality. There are 2 main focuses. One is my focus on my identity. identity, whatever. And the other one is on creating what I love. These are two worlds. In this world, you see 99% of our society. They say, if I have money, then life will be better. If I have this, then this will be better. If I lose money, well, then I'm bad. If I do this, I'm good. If I do that, I'm bad. Does this make sense? If more people follow me online, then I'm a better, more validated person. See, in this world, it's about improving yourself. Everything's about you. You see, and just riddle me this. Who's more validated? Who's more important? The person who cures cancer or the person who has the cancer? Everyone here's like, this must be a trick question. But if I ask that out there in society, what does everyone say? It's the doctor. It's a doctor that cures the cancer, right? That's what society would say, wouldn't it? Give me a yes if society would say that. Society would say, yep, the doctor's more important than that person. That's what you'd see. But the truth is that's just the identity. Oh, wow, I was more important. I was more important. But at the end of the day, they're just two humans doing different things. In fact, if that person didn't have the cancer, then the person who cured the cancer wouldn't have the opportunity to have their glory. So maybe they're more important. The truth is neither. But we're all put in this society. I'm better if I do this and I'm worse if I do that. Does that make sense, guys? If I have a great life, if I have a great family, if I have a great this, then I'm going to be better in the eyes of who? Right? We're told, in the eyes of, however, it's very different than just creating what you love. There's only one way you know you're in the creative structure, and that is because whatever you're wanting to create, there's only one reason. And this is why I want to finish off with structure. You're in the creative structure, which allows you to create like an artist creates. So the Rolling Stones are still out there playing their music. There's only one reason, and that is because I love it. Chris, why do you do YouTube videos? Why are you writing a book? Why are you speaking? Why are you here today? I love it. I love it. That's the only answer. Why do you want a healthy body? I love it. Why do you want a great family? I love it. Does it change me? No. Here's the thing. Whenever you think that it's going to change you, whenever you think it's going to be something else, that is when you're knocked out of the magnetic moment. That's when you're in a completely wrong structure. See, when you think, if I have the money, then life will be different. What you're really saying is that now isn't enough. And I want to prove to you right now, if you get into the creative structure, it's about arriving there now. It's about having it already. So let me ask you, is there anything that you can't have now? Is there anything you can't have now? People always fight me on this. Say you can have everything now and still choose. See, you can have it now. People say, Chris, I can't have it all now. You don't know my diagnosis. You don't know my diagnosis, man. I can't have it now. See, when you shift into the creative structure, instead of, so the old reality, the current reality, desired reality, this is the bad one, this is better, and this is worse. Okay, that is wrong. In the creative structure, the current reality is the desired reality. You see, you become it. This is the magnetic moment. This is when you go through the wizard's gate and you're able to enter the moment where you completely are a magnet for what you want because you already are it. So right now you're in joy, and in the end result, you're in joy. Here you're in abundance, and over here you're in abundance, right? You have it. You're the same. This is the magnetic moment. Guys, for years, I struggled. For years. I went to course after course. I'm certified in hypnotherapy, NLP, EFT, matrix energetics, the MAP method. I'm certified in so many of these different processes. I went to all of Tony Robbins stuff, Money and You, T. Harv Eker. I read, you see my bookshelf. I've got over 1,000 books. I obsessed about this, right? Went to all of Dispenza stuff, Greg, Braden, and Bruce, went on holidays, went to their advanced stuff, everything. You guys asked me, I could talk to you about all of the different processes, right? I went to retreats, I did Ho'oponopono, I did hypnosis, I had coaches and mentors, all of this stuff, all of it, just 15 years of it. And every single time, I just kept on reinforcing that the future would be better. You see, I couldn't have it now. Does that make sense? I couldn't have it now. And this is the untruth, okay? So people say, Chris, you don't know my diagnosis. I can't have health now. I say, whatever. You're not more than 5% unhealthy. In fact, where are my health professionals on this call? It cost a fortune. Yeah, you're right, Jen. I mean, hundreds of thousands of dollars. So guys, my health professionals on the call, every single person, tell me if this is true, type it in, health professionals. Every one of us on this call has some sort of dis-ease in our body. We have cancer cells all the time. They're going in and out. Is it true, health professionals? Give me a yes. We're not, there's not just this one perfect health. So all of us are in that. All of us, all the time. I have a sore calf muscle right now. I'm in dis-ease, you see. I don't think that there's people that are more than 5 or 6 or 7% unhealthy. So right now, you could focus on the 10% of your unhealth or the 90%, my eyes are healthy, my ears are healthy. You see what I'm saying, guys? You can have so much health. In fact, you're alive. So choose to step into the health of you instead of keep on focusing on where the non-health is. People say, I can't feel health now, Chris. You don't know my diagnosis. And I say, well, there's a person over there with no legs. You got legs. You see what I'm saying, guys? Who hears that, right? You've still got breath in your lungs. You're healthy, so you can have health now. But then people say, but Chris, man, you don't know. You should see my bank account, man. No, can't have abundance now. If you can't find abundance now, and the fact that we have Wi-Fi and public libraries and Wikipedia and free Wi-Fi, you go down to the library. In fact, when I lived in LA, you could go to Santa Monica Beach and there's just Wi-Fi. You just got to have a phone. If you don't have a phone, you go to the library. There's so much abundance here. I mean, we've got all the different foods from all around the world that get delivered to us. There's no way we can't find abundance now. In fact, if we tried to tell a billionaire how we can't have abundance now with everything we had, a billionaire from 100 years ago, does that make sense, guys? Like they would just look at us ridiculous. Like there was no such thing as washing machines and electricity. Like think about it, maybe a bit more than 100, right? Yeah. And so here's what I want you to hear from me. If you can't find abundance in a cheap bottle of wine and a date down at the beach with someone you love, you'll never find it in a $700 dinner for two with tablecloths and French wine and everything else. If you can't find abundance in that, you'll never find it there because you're not practiced, you see? When you learn that you got it all now, that extra money is not going to change you, that's when you can have it. Does this make sense? Give me a yes if you're getting it. This is the magnetic moment. This is the creative structure. When you be it before you see it. Oh, but Chris, I can't have love now. The first person you got to love is you, and you always have you. And so all these things, and I tell you when I learned it, I built this big company and this big life in 2015, and I traveled the world. I moved to the United States and wrote 2 books. They went bestsellers. And because of it, I got featured in a movie with Tony Robbins, the Dalai Lama. And a month before the movie was to be shot in LA, my best friend and business partner was killed in a motorcycle accident. He was living in Bali, Indonesia, and yeah, he got killed. And anyway, it was us. I just got to be the front guy. And he taught me so much. He was 15 years older than me. He was my mentor, business partner, he was just my guy, And went back to New Zealand. I was supposed to be speaking on stage with Gary Vaynerchuk, but instead I was speaking at his funeral. And I went back and, we were living in Tahoe at the time. If you guys know, we were just on the Nevada side, right between Nevada and Northern California. And so we're up in Tahoe. I drove down and I did this movie. I did this movie. It's called We Rise Up. And I met all these people I'd always looked up to. And I'll never forget the moment they called, Chris Duncan out, and Dalai Lama and Tony Rowe, like just all my heroes are there. And I got to speak my part of the movie. It's really cool. So anyway, my life kind of fell apart. My business kind of hit rock bottom. I'd lost my friend, and I really didn't understand what life was about. Does that make sense? So I was in this really weird paradigm where everything had gone so well professionally, books, movie, like all these. But personally, I felt like a wreck. Like finances were just like everything went wrong. It's 2015, 16, and I just remember it so clearly that this was the biggest turning point ever. It was the biggest turning point ever because I just stacked my life with all these things that I thought would give me what I could already have. And so guys, when I was like $500,000 in debt, without my number one best friend, without my business, without my identity, feeling like it, that's when I found it. That's when I found it. I remember sitting on this side of this lake, had my wife, well, we weren't married then, but Harriet was there and my dog, and I just didn't have anything. And that's when I found it. I found joy, I found love, I found abundance. I decided, and I just well, that I can find it now. And that's when mentors came into my life. I worked personally with an amazing lady named Colette Stryker, who taught me how to connect to the superconscious, amazing woman, William Whitecloud, who showed me structure. But the most important thing, and I want you to hear this, is I met a self-made billionaire who was the most heart-centered, humble, loving, great family, just like my complete end result. And you should always find someone who's your end result and do whatever you can to be around them. And so I did that. And he sat me down, and this is where this comes from. And I want you to write this down from him through me, because this makes my friend's loss worth it. You will never, ever, ever see it until you be it. And that doesn't mean that you got to fix yourself. In order to see it, you must be it. It means you find the magnetic moment now by entering through the wizard's gate. And we're going to do the process today. You be it, because can everyone type that in? You must be it to see it. You must be it to see it. There is no reason why you cannot be it now, meaning already have everything you want. See, because when you already have it, that's when all resistance is melted away. And so people think that our process is about getting somewhere, but it's actually about letting go. Here's what I believe. We don't need to fix the past. I'm sorry about your past hurt. We need to let it go. Is it true? We don't need to have the past continually tainting our future. True? We don't need to keep poisoning it. We just need to let it go. It happened. Bad stuff has happened to all of us. True? But there's no point trying to go back and fix it all. That's the old structure. But here's what's really difficult. He told me that, and I was like, all right, cool. I got to be it. And my mode of operation was, well, then I've got to fix myself. And so it actually got me lost for about a year trying to be it. Well, I got to hold on to it, and I would try like positive, like all the stuff that I already knew. Remember, at this point, I was trained in all these things, and I'd read in books and everything else, and they're wrong. Those books are wrong. You can't buy them right now. Take them off, because they were in the wrong way, where I was in this idea that you would fix yourself and get somewhere else. And I'm happy that I was wrong, but it was wrong. See, so I got in there, and then here's what would happen is I met all these others who had been to the same courses as me. And guess what? None of them are living their dream life. Who's put that together, by the way? How come all these people have been to all these courses and they've done all this work? Why doesn't all of them have the exact life they love? Why are they still going to courses? Why are they still, I've got to read this, and why is there so many books they have to read? I heard Lincoln only had one book he read. Does this make sense? It's so important to understand how you step into the structure and how you do it. So I hope that was a really good introduction to structure. Let me go into and shift into the human journey. Your focus creates your structure. Your focus creates your structure. The structure creates your reality because you'll always follow that reality. And if your focus is, I got to fix me, guess what the invisible instruction is? I'm not good enough. And guess what the path of least resistance is? Get another course, read another book, go to another this, doubt yourself even more. And then as soon as you do that, you lock that structure in even more. Does that make sense? You lock it in even more. It becomes even more of a golden cage. The more, and a golden cage, because it feels good. It feels good in the moment. Oh, I did some self-work. But as soon as you do that, you're telling an aspect of your consciousness that you're not good enough. You can't have it unless you fix it. You must change. And it's complete BS, and it's not your fault. This has been drilled into us, and I'm just the first person that you've ever heard it from, and we're going to change it. This is a complete revolution. So let me grab some notes up. That was the intro. That was the intro. Sorry. So that makes me laugh so much. Just an hour intro. Hey, we're going to talk about the human journey. And so we're going to go through the human journey now and talk about that. And I just want to say, if you want to do one-on-one coaching with our team, we have 30 odd spots available, and we're going to send you a link about it. I've got two big things that I want to do today. I want to talk about the human journey. Then I want to take you through the wisdom process. But I know since I'm looking at the time, you might go, oh, Chris, I didn't have this time. So simply, if that's what you really want to do, make sure you take action on it, because we only have so many coaches and only spots. It's very, very, very affordable. It's not this big, thousands and thousands of dollars thing. It's about a couple $100 a session. You get a session with a coach each week. You also get group sessions with me and my other coaches. It's very cool. Okay, so if that's something you want to do, there will be a link sent to you. But I just want to make sure that you guys all know about that. Can I just ask, who would be interested in that? Yeah. So anyway, that's coming. But I will first do a bunch more stuff, and I'm looking at it. I think I gave myself about 20 minutes for what's taken an hour. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I'll drop the link in here that you guys can save for later. But please don't go click on this link now, because I want to just keep teaching and doing stuff. But there is the link if you do want to do it at some point. Okay, so let me jump in. Where are my notes? Okay, my notes. All right. So there are five steps to consciously create your desires. Okay. The first thing is you must learn how to choose a true goal. Okay. And a true goal, write this down, is a goal around something you just love. Okay. That is a true goal, something you just love. And most of us are not choosing true goals. The second thing is you must create a tension structure. Okay. Now, I want you to understand this with the rubber band. Tension is a magic force that holds everything together. Okay. Tension, all of your bones, everything is held together by tension. When you create a goal and then you create tension, it's going to magically pull them together. Okay. This is how to actually use what has been called the law of attraction. Okay. And by the way, if you think the law of attraction isn't true, just do this experiment. Plant a strawberry seed and a pumpkin seed in the same soil, water it, same sunlight, and notice that they both pull from the exact same ingredients, different things. They attract it. Okay. So done. So we create the tension structure. Okay. This tension structure, the rubber band, is going to seek resolution in the middle, meaning the goal will get pulled towards you and you will pull towards it. So we make sure that you do that. That's step two. Okay. Working with a coach, make sure you stay in the right tension. Here's the wrong tension. The wrong tension is when you make it personal and go to try to fix yourself, okay? That is an easy tension to get into, but remember, it's not about fixing yourself. They don't relate. Having beliefs, it doesn't matter. And to that point, just a second, is there are people who follow all the health principles and then die of a heart attack at 45. Then there are other people who simply just eat whatever it is that they feel like, and then they live to 100, have a great life. True? That's just true. And it's structure. It's also the opposite is true as well. And so I know people who are positive and make lots of money, people who are negative and make lots of money. I know people who feel abundant, who are broke, and people who feel abundant and are rich. Does this make sense? There's no single one right way, but we're obsessed about it in society, right? Oh, billionaires wake up at 4 a.m., so I should wake up early. Oh, I got to do this certain meditation, this certain prayer. I've got to do all these things and pray to the right. It's not true. Everyone's different. And you look at success and failure, you'll see people doing the same thing on both sides. Does that make sense? You'll see people that every day do a certain ritual who fail, are not getting what they want, and then people doing the same ritual that are succeeding. Does that make sense? So we just got to understand that it's whatever you want to do. If you want to feel positive, feel positive. If you want to feel negative, feel negative. If you want to, do mantras or chants or whatever it is you want to do, cool. It's not going to change what you create if you understand creation. If you understand creation. All creation is created with tension. All with tension, okay? Tension or disequilibrium. You can get water to flow. You can create a river. There's a structure to create a river, right? We understand that. Well, there's the same structure to bring a thought into reality. The next is you step into the emotion of the end result, okay? You be it, right? That's why there's a magnet there. So first you choose it, then you create tension, then you be it. And tension's a positive thing. If you don't like the word tension, use the word disequilibrium, okay? Or use the word magnetic force or void. The universe abhors a void. It doesn't want to have space, so it's going to try to fill it. Tension creates movement, creates magnetism. So you use tension, but then you become it. See, you're no different if you have the money or don't have the money, so you create the tension. Now, as you create the tension structure, you must unplug any resistance that's in the way. This is very different to fixing yourself, okay? Very different to fixing yourself. See, fixing yourself is when you start here and you look at all the things that are wrong with you and you go try to fix them and improve everything. What we're talking about is this is what I want. Here's where I am. What's in the way? If there's anything in the way, that's where we use the superconscious recode, which you guys have all seen and you experienced today. We step into it, okay? So there's a very big difference between fixing yourself and creating. Can everyone give me a yes if you truly can just get that, right? Just give me a yes in the chat. I want to know, because fixing yourself is like, you just look in the wrong way, okay? So we're just here and we go, okay, there's a boulder in the way of this water flowing, all right? That's what I'm creating. I'm here. I feel the same. So I'm not going to change. Like I feel, positive here and positive here, or love here, or frustrated in both. It's the same, by the way, even if you feel, you don't have to have positive stuff. Now, what's in the way? All this, okay, that's in the way. Let's use the superconscious to move that boulder out the way so that flow can happen. Does that make sense? Very different. The last thing is action. The last step is action. You must always take action. In fact, there's no way, and you'll see this here as a microscope, okay? This stands for you get the big picture, you break it down to the small. Okay, there are two types of action, masculine action and feminine action. There's no such thing as inaction because time is always moving. Feminine action is very important. Nurturing, looking after yourself, caring for yourself, surrendering, okay? However, if you only do feminine action, you're just waiting for the world. The world will push you around. Then there's masculine action. Masculine action, go out, charge, plant seeds, take action, go, go, go. But if you just do masculine, you'll just end up with a field where you've planted heaps of seeds, but you never nurtured and grow. Does this make sense? So action must balance masculine and feminine. Like the Hermetic principles, I've studied a lot about alchemy, is there's time for both. And this is you know, if you end up you're one of the people that join us for one-on-one coaching, your coach is going to make sure with your choices, and we'll talk about your choices today, that sometimes you're taking the masculine action and other times you just got to surrender and let it go. Does that make sense? And you got to know when. You got to know when. And we know by tuning into our superconscious. Okay, so those are the 5 steps. Now, let me just make sure you guys, yeah, cool. Lots of yeses. Cool. Okay, cool. Cool. Right. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's nice to see all these questions in here. I'll try to get to all these questions. I can see them all. Yes, it's live, but there's just 344 of you on. Yeah. Okay. All right. So how does this happen? How do we actually end in the wrong structure? Because it's a big thing for us to understand. What's the journey that you need to go through to become a superconscious creator? Can I just ask, who is all in on this? They're like, this is it. I've got to get in the right structure. I've got to become a superconscious creator. Just tell me how. I want a mentor. Just tell me how this is going to work so I can finally stop trying to figure it all out. I want you to get, this is the last or the first, this is the last one you ever have to go to. Because once you understand the structure, we've had people go from being blind to being able to see, from diabetic to not needing insulin, from broke to heaps of, we've had this, but we never do it by focusing on the negative. But here's the journey. Here's the journey. Can you guys all see this? This is your journey. When you start as a pure creative spirit, okay? You have it all. You simply have it all. Your mother carries you around, okay? You're fed, you have oxygen, you have it all. Can you guys see my screen? You can, yes? Someone give me a yes. You guys can see that, right? Yeah, all right, thanks, Tiffany. Cool, thanks, Dave. All right, cool. Okay, so you have it all. Now what happens is you then are born and unfortunately you get wounded through individualism, okay? Which means you suddenly become from being connected and being your mother to being an individual. And when you're an individual, you do not have it all. You don't know how to speak well. You don't even know how to speak at all. You don't know how to do anything. You're an individual. So you realize, I don't have it all. I've got things to learn. I have to earn certain things. I don't just get fed, you see. How do I make sure I get dad's validation, dad's attention, and mom's love and mom's nurturing? It's not just there. Does this make sense? So you realize, I don't have it all. Give me a yes if you get that. I don't have it all. Oh, okay, I had it all. Now I don't have it all. Now this is very painful as you step into this reality, and it's very painful. So you make up a belief or a structure to resolve the pain. Okay, I must work hard to get dad's attention. I must be a good girl or a good boy so that mom loves me. I must be quiet to not make dad angry. Okay, I must be to this. Now, at this point here, what happens is I see most people create one of 6 structures. The first one is I'm not enough. The second one is I'm not worthy. The next one is I'm not significant. This is a big third child problem. I'm not significant, not enough, not worthy. I don't belong. I'm not perfect. Not capable. Is that 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, those are the 6. Okay. So what happens in that moment we go, wow, we decide and we create a structure about one of these 6 in a certain domain in life, and we try to resolve it. Okay, so my structure was I was not enough. I was not enough, and I was not capable. So what that happened for me, and this might be true for you, is I was not enough, so I was always trying to prove. Okay, I was not capable, so I was always trying to learn. You see, and that became my life. That became my life orientation. Okay, not perfect, always trying to fix. Not belonging. Okay, always trying to fit in. Okay, not significant, always trying to create status. Not worthy, always trying to be deserving. Now, do you see the orientation? Who's noticing this, right? This becomes their life focus. This becomes their structure. And so when I actually ask them what it is they want, I say, what do you actually want? And they say to me, oh, I want to make a big impact. No, you don't. You just actually want to prove that you're enough. Oh, I want to have a great relationship. No, you don't. You just want to belong somewhere. Oh, I want to, you know, blah, blah, blah. Oh, no, you actually just want this. But the problem is this is the identity. So we're never allowed to have anything in this structure that resolves who we are at our core level. Do you see the problem with this structure? Yeah? Do you see the problem with this structure? Let me just go back to the notes. So the problem with those, could someone type in the 6 for me? One of my coaches is probably here to do it. This is the structure. I must do this to become worthy. I must do this to become deserve. I must do this to become capable. I must do this to prove to dad that I'm enough. Okay? So life becomes about overcoming what we believe about ourselves. Does this make sense? And this creates that oscillating structure that I was talking about. Until you come to this course today, and I say it doesn't matter how much you try to fix yourself or become deserving, or how much money or plastic or trinkets or fame or followers, none of that is ever going to be resolved. Okay? Because over here, you're a victim to circumstances. See what I mean by victim to circumstances? If I have a relationship, then I'm happy. If I don't, I'm sad. If I have money, I'm abundant. If I don't, I'm poor. Where's the power in those statements? It's given away. Does that make sense? It's given away. You're a victim to this circumstance. And I want you to write this down. It's simply childish. It's simply child and not negative or critical. It's just simply, it should have been left in childhood. Okay. However, I still see 75, 80-year-old people who are still trying to prove to mom or dad that they're good enough. They've never been able to actually find it now, you see. And that's really sad. They're still living a childish wound. Or others who go, well, Chris, great, I get it. How many of you right now going, well, let me fix it? I see it. I can hear. Come on, have a laugh. Who's thinking about that? Well, how do I fix this, Chris? You're right. You're in the structure of, well, I better fix it then. True? Because that's what I did. I was like, right, this makes sense. Let's fix it. Yeah, same. Yeah, same. But the invisible instruction you give, if you say, yeah, I got to fix it, you're actually just then reinforcing that you're not enough as you are. You see? So the invisible instruction makes it stronger. What a loop. What a loop that is, right? So there's the other way, and that's the only way, because you go, oh, well, I'm going to go fix it. I'll race off and I'll do all these other things. You can't. You can't. You can't. We can't fix it. We've got to stop having a war on drugs and a war on terror. And we're going to stop. We're going to let it go. We just got to create something new. Does that make sense? Can everyone see the difference? Instead of keep trying to put Band-Aids or try to fix it, Band-Aids, we just got to let it go and we're going to get into a new orientation. Can everyone type in number one? I just want to get some feedback. Number one, if you understand that, we got to learn, just let it go. New orientation in life. You're already good enough. You're already perfect. New orientation. We cannot fix. It's just impossible. So we got to get into a new orientation. And when you do, you'll have success without struggle. You'll turn thoughts into reality and you'll live the life you love so fast. So that's the shift we make. The first thing we do is we help you to have it now. We're going to start today. We'll do a process today. You must learn to have it now. That is when you go through the wizard gate. The wizard's gate is when you have no desire and no resistance. You have already arrived. You have already become it so that it can become. See, you must arrive first. You just arrive. You come and we get you there quick. Then you must create. That creates your magnetic mind because you already are it. You already are living your true end results. Once you're living your true end results, and by the way, this just comes from our 4-day workbook that we use in our certification, which some of you I think are in, some of you might want to be in. This is when we live from a creative orientation and we make true choices. We become a predominant creative force in our life and turn thoughts into reality. And that moves us to having it all and manifesting everything. But it all starts here in these 3 steps. Number 1, we must go through the wizard's gate. There are 4 orientational choices to go through the wizard's gate we must live from. We're going to do those today. Then you create your mind, then you go here. But we're not worried about fixing any of this. We simply put that down and we say that was childish, and now I'm going to live from a new orientation. Okay, so it's like that there's these 2 worlds. Remember, focus creates your structure. There's one world, that's the childish world, that's focused on what does this mean to my identity? If I do this, I'm a good boy or girl. If I do this, I'm bad. If I do this, I'm more. If I do this, I'm less. Do you see the childish identity structure? Okay, that's one focus. Our focus is here. We get rid of that one. And our focus says, I am who I am, and I'm going to create what I love. The focus here is on your life creation, not on trying to fix yourself, because the cancer patient and the doctor are just as validated. You see the difference? It's night and day. On this side is all those that we've talked about that are out there creating big outcomes in life, having the life they love. And then on this side is everyone trying to fix themselves. You see? And you look at the success people who've been able to create what they love. They never focus on fixing themselves and being perfect. And I'm sorry that it took so long for some of you, for someone to come and tell you. But if someone else was out there teaching this, I wouldn't be. I love teaching it, but most importantly, I love it because it's such a big shift. It's such a big shift. And so for me, having someone there, making sure I was in the right structure was the most important thing. So you guys loving today? You guys loving it? Let's see. I'm so in love with all of you. I love being here. I love it. I love you so much. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Look at all of those. They're all pretty good, I think, Anna. No judgment to anyone. No criticism, no judgment. I just don't think anyone's thought about the invisible instructions that are given when you help people step into a reality that they think they're broken. And I think it's what actually supports their life. You know, they did it. It feels good. They believe it. And I'm fine that I was about to say I could be wrong. I'm not wrong. This isn't wrong. But I was going to say they could get a lot out of it. And it feels good to do work on yourself, right? So they really believe it. They really believe it. But I'm just sorry, you know, a lot of my mentors, I freaking love them. But if I am in a structure of I've got to fix myself, and then I sit for an hour and 40 minutes in space every day, reinforcing that I need to fix myself, I just wonder how much more of a benefit it would be if we were just in the right structure, right? So structure. So how many of you would like to do a bit of a work, better process right now? Yeah. Yeah, so you can improve skills. Yeah, you can improve skills. A true choice. I want to improve this skill, but you must just get into the right structure first, okay? Someone says, I don't really think things are right or wrong. I think it's just more effective. I really appreciate the feedback, and I'm glad that, you know, I'm cool. That's your opinion. I just think that that structure is wrong. I really do. You know, I don't think a lot of things are wrong, but I'm very certain about it. And you know, you can have whatever, but to me, that is the number one biggest problem that I see in society. You know, our Western society, the future will be better than now is not enough. And I see it as a huge problem. If you have these lips, you have these hips, if you lose some weight, if you just have this, just do this, life will be better. And I just feel like it's this sickness. So to me, it's wrong. And I'm happy standing in that truth, and I'm happy that others have other opinions. Okay, so there are 4 orientational choices that we must live from to make that shift. You guys want to do it? Let's do some. Okay, so the first choice we must live from and experience and have now is, so it starts off with I choose the end result of living a life I love. Now, can you have that now? Do you need to fix yourself to have that? Nope, you can have that now. I choose the end result of living a life I love, okay? The next one is I choose the end result of having health and vitality. Even if you have that, would you still choose it? Of course, and all of us can have it. Is that fixing yourself, or is it creating a new reality? Creating. You're just creating. I got health and vitality. I choose that every day. I got a life I love. I still choose it every day because that's the movement. You're always moving. So I'm always choosing it. The next orientational choice, there's 4 of them. Could someone type these in for me? The next one is I choose the end result of living my true nature and purpose. Okay, and the last one is, it says living. Last one is, I choose the end result of being the predominant creative force in my life. Could someone type this in so everyone else has them? So I choose the end result of living a life I love. I choose the end result of having health and vitality. I choose the end result of living my true nature and purpose. I choose the end result of being the predominant creative force of my life. Now, when you heard me talk about Dean, who now can see again after 20 years of being blind, I never, ever, ever worked on the problem that he couldn't see. Instead, we worked on stepping him into a life he loves. By creating a life he loves, he wanted to see his grandchildren, you see. By stepping into I have a healthy body, he stepped into that. He chose it. He noticed how he's already healthy in so many ways, stepped into a new reality. Never was it focused on what he didn't have. We were never in that orientation, and we knew that it wouldn't actually make a difference, you see. So we go into these. So I want you to pick one of these 4 to work on with me today. One of these 4. One of these 4. So type in 1, 2, 3, or 4, just whichever one you're going to work on. And you can work on more when you work with others. It's all good. Let's just work on one today. So just choose one. Is it living a life I love? And you want them all, so you just got to pick. So just type in a 1, 2, 3, or 4. Cool. Cool. Look at all those numbers flying in. Awesome. Okay. So that's step 1. Okay. So step 1 on our process, okay, is we choose our end result. All right. I'm just going to move my desk down so we can do some work. Oops, I'm on the wrong page. There we go. That's what I meant to have it on. Actually, so the next step we'll do is we'll create structural tension, emotionally end result, unplug and recode and take aligned action. So I'm just going to take you through that. Let me just move my desk down. Okay. So step 2 is to create structural tension. And structural tension means we simply notice the now. Okay. So I create a life I love and we simply notice the now. Okay. So here's how we're going to do it. It's a closed eye process. Okay. I'm going to step you into your future end result, whichever one of those 4 it is. And I want you to experience it now. I'll guide you through it. And then we're going to go into so the end result. Then we're going to go into the current reality. Okay. And this will set up that tension structure. Okay. Oh, yeah, cool. All right. If you've got to go and you want one-on-one coaching, you don't want to miss out, here is the link. Yeah, cool. If you got to go, make sure you grab that link. There's 30 odd places available. Once they're gone, they're gone. Anyway, it's there. So cool. Okay. If you have to, that's fine. So sorry, I'm just so passionate. I went too long. So there's these two places. Okay. So it's closed eye. You just got to listen to me. And all we're doing is we're going to create the magnetic force called tension, which is wanting to move you to a different reality, but not fix you because you can already have it. Okay. So close your eyes. Close your eyes if you're here to play full out and do it with me. Yeah. And just step into an end result. Step into that result and have it now. I choose the end result of whichever one it is. Living a life I love, healthy and vital body, true nature and purpose, predominant creative force. Just step into it and accept it to be true. Notice what it feels like to have that. Yeah. And just choose it, notice it. What's life like? How does it feel? And just breathe it in and allow yourself to have that. Okay, and now go into the now. Keeping your eyes closed. What's life like now? And just observe what it's like. Observe what it's like now. Maybe you observe different emotions. Yeah. Just what's it like now being in this and wanting to create that opposite? Just notice the two. Feel the tension, the magnetic pull. What's it like now? Yeah. And just notice what it's like now. Okay. Open your eyes, come back to me. Type in, did you notice a difference? Did you notice the pull? What was the difference between the two? Did you enjoy just creating a bit of structural tension? Yeah, simple stuff so far. Yeah. So whenever we start, we always do that. Okay. We always do. So we've done 1 and 2. We create that 1 and 2. So what is it? Where am I now? And you just notice the difference, but notice it doesn't need to change you. Okay. So that's 1, that's 2. The third step is we're going to go into the emotion, the end result, and understand what is the next action we need to take. Okay. Very important. Whenever I say the word action, it can be feminine or it can be masculine, or it can be, I don't know the next action. If you don't know the next action, then the action is to find out what you should do next, meaning go do research. Does that make sense? So either it's a masculine action, like go for it, get on the phones, go on more dates, get to the gym, or it's a feminine action like rest, recover, nurture, that sort of stuff. Or it's, I don't know what the next action is. And that is when you got to go, I've got to get a coach or someone that can tell me the next action. Okay. So you guys ready? It's closed eyes again. Third step, closed eyes. So just close your eyes with me. That's it. Just close eyes and just step into your end result, that end result that you chose. Step into it and notice that you can have it now. How does it feel to have now? That's it. Just allow yourself to have it, to feel it. True life, true nature and purpose, a life you love, healthy and vital. Yeah. Step into whichever one it is and experience it now. As you're here, just experiencing it, just loving it, just in your mind, just imagine you're turning around and looking back at the current reality. What is the next action you must take for the current reality to resolve the tension to move to here? What is the next thing that must be created? Either you know what to do or don't. Either it's masculine, feminine, or don't know. Cool. Okay. Open your eyes and come back. So now that we've done the first 3 steps, you're in an interesting place. Just notice how you feel. Eyes open, come back. Very interesting, very quick. That's what I want. Here I am now. What's the next thing that has to happen? You kind of start to understand the forward focus structure. Now, some resistance might already have popped up, okay? There might already be resistance there towards taking that action. And resistance is just a force that you have created to keep yourself safe. It's from your old identity, okay? So we just want to move it out the way, so you just move through it and you let the water flow, okay? So let's unpack this resistance. What's in the way of this creation? What's in the way of you just having this now? So I want to ask you, and write these down and get associated with it. What's in the way when it comes to, like beliefs? Like what beliefs are in the way? This is hard. I don't know what I'm doing. I feel guilty if I have it. I should just give it all up. What beliefs are in the way about yourself, about the thing, or about what you got to do? What's in the way? What's just in the way that we just need to not have there? You can have those beliefs. There's nothing wrong with those beliefs. We just need them out of the river of action. So what are those beliefs? Nice. What emotions are causing resistance? Fear of it going wrong, uncertainty about what others will think. What emotions have you randomly put in there, and how have you made it personal? What else is in the way? I don't know what's in the way, Chris, but it just feels like I can't move that. There's like boulders. I can't flow that way. It's all good. So I want to ask you to give yourself a score. Out of 10, okay, don't put it in yet. If 10 is your level of resistance, okay, so a 10 is like you're trying to swim upstream, and a 0 is, oh, this is easy, I'm just going to flow to it. Where's your resistance level that you feel towards just having whatever this choice is? And just please give me a number, because we're going to do some work. Cool. Okay, cool. Lots of 10s. Good. So that is what needs to shift for this to flow, but we're not fixing you. You're going to be the same. You're just not going to have the resistance there. Your focus creates reality. So I'm going to introduce you. I'm going to take you through some superconscious work right now. So the superconscious, okay, is backed by neuroscience, and it's an amazing work, but you just got to trust me and go with it. You're going to love it. It's a field of information. This is you. This is me. This is everyone else. Outside of you, you have a field of information, and same outside of me. This field of information is telling you how to be you. In fact, if you take a cell and put it in a different set of, a different field, epigenetics shows us that that cell will change. So for example, if you put it in a field structure that's there to create muscle tissue, take the cell out, put it in a field structure that's there to create bone, it will actually change. Isn't that amazing? I think it is. Anyway, so that we all have our own structures around us. And then around that, you actually have your family. I have my family and everyone else has their family. Okay. Now, if we go outside of enough structures, we actually get the superconscious. Okay. And the superconscious is a field. It's a field of information that's telling all of humanity how to be. Now, all of us are in this field. Einstein called it spooky action at a distance. So I'm in the field, if you think about this up here, and you're in the field, and so is everyone else. So we're going to do superconscious work. It's way faster than unconscious work or subconscious work. The superconscious is not your spirit. It's a field of information that's tracked back across your family line that I can access and that you can access, okay? So we're both going to be in this field out here, and you'll give me permission. Now, I want you to imagine that your active experience in life is like a football field. You have this main personality here in the middle, and you want this active experience to be able to move somewhere, okay? But as soon as you try to move somewhere, what happens is all this resistance pops up like this, okay? And I want you to imagine that this is like a football field, okay? And gophers, those little gophers have popped up, okay? Those little animals have popped up and they're causing resistance. Like you cannot move to where you want to go, okay? So just imagine that it's all popped up. And all we're going to do is we're going to ask the superconscious to remember the order that all the gophers popped up. And when we give commands, we'll simply just have all of the gophers run away. We'll take a feather and we'll smooth out all of these. We'll smooth them out so that we can simply just go to where we want. Does that make sense? And so when I work with the superconscious, it's a field of information, but I'm going to talk to it like it's a person. Okay. Now, how many of you have seen the demonstration of me doing it with the women? Are you excited about doing this now? Yeah? Cool. Cool. So if you've seen it, you got a little bit of an understanding. If you haven't seen it, that's okay. You don't need to do anything. All you need to do is give me permission to connect to your superconscious. Does that make sense? And when I do that, I will simply look at the field with you, and it's very fast. I'll say a few commands out loud, but I'll do a lot of work. And what's going to happen is the resistance you had before, we're going to smooth it out. So it's not there anymore. We're going to neutralize it. Does that sound great? Does that sound great? It's really great. And so then you should just be able to flow. Now, I want you to know sometimes there's a big boulder in the way. Like instead of it just being a small gopher hole, maybe it's like an actual rock the size of a car. And if that's the case, we're just going to take a little piece out today, and maybe the resistance goes from 10 to 8. You see? But then we can do it again, and it just moves. Here's what I want you to get. Your superconscious. You don't give your power to me. I'm simply reading it and giving instructions of what needs to move. Does this make sense? I'm going to simply give instructions of what needs to move. I'm not fixing you. You're perfect. You're whole. You're capable. And in fact, all of the resistance is actually designed to help you because it's trying to keep you safe. And we're simply just saying, hey, superconscious, we want to shift. The reason why the superconscious shifts faster is it is the energy, the structure that you and your family have always been in. And so we might be clearing stuff of generational stuff. It's absolutely magic, okay? So choose to get the most out of it. Choose to allow us to just simply say, you know what, I'm done replaying that resistance. and I'm going to separate the content, the learnings, and get rid of the emotion, because sometimes we have quite big holes are in the way, and these can actually be in conflict with the main personality. And all we're wanting to do is, instead of having all this conflict, is we're just trying to make you bigger and more whole and bring the whole main personality together, so you don't have these internal civil wars. Nothing, because they're in their own free will. Someone asked, so if your family's sitting here, right, they're in their own free will, and so they got their structures, but they haven't given permission. Does that make sense? I'm not able to do anything without permission. You're completely in control. Does this make sense? So everyone's ready to do it. I'm going to be closed eyes. Cool. So does your superconscious understand how this is going to work? Yeah. So when you're ready, just please close your, who's ready, by the way? Everyone's ready? When you're ready, just close your eyes. Yeah. Just close your eyes and give me permission to connect to your superconscious. Nice. Well, it's time to let that go. Time to let it go, Tony. Keep the learnings, let go of the emotion so it doesn't keep happening. Close your eyes, choose to give me permission to connect to your superconscious. That's it. Just give me permission. Just all we need to do is say it in your mind. I give Chris Duncan permission to connect to my superconscious field to increase satisfaction and decrease pain in my life. Thank you. Oh, I can feel it. Thank you. 300 people just opening up superconscious. I feel it. I want to talk to everyone's superconscious. I want to let you know this is safe and gentle. I'm going to give you commands that are just going to allow you to let go of old resistance that used to serve you. No aspects of you will die. We don't judge it. We actually want to bring everyone together. And it's time to turn any pain into wisdom. Superconscious, are you happy to go ahead with it? Do you feel safe? Yeah. Superconscious, I'm going to talk to you like a person. Is that okay? Please ask all parts, identities, aspects to create the perfect treatment plan. And notice this new choice, one of the core 4 choices. Notice it. Notice all the resistance that's been created. Okay. Superconscious, please treat this resistance in the perfect way, in the perfect order, and do a massive change history, and everything is needed. Thank you. Just breathe, let it through. You don't need to do anything, just be present. My eyes are closed, your eyes should be closed, just observe yourself. There's nothing to notice unless you notice. Superconscious, please find the original event, either in this timeline or passed down through a family member or a past timeline. Please find the original event that caused this resistance, the original seed. Superconscious, please pull this original event out of the timeline into a full superconscious recode and massive change history on this event, changing the structure for more satisfaction in the current reality. Thank you. Superconscious, please plant the new structure in its place and reinforce this new seed, this new structure, a life I love, health and vital, predominant creative force, true nature and purpose, whichever one it is, plant it in. And superconscious, please reinforce the original event with this new belief. And let's do the sentence procedure. It's okay if you don't understand what I'm saying. You're connected to my superconscious, so I'm working on my field to you, so just enjoy it. Superconscious, we're going to do the sentence procedure, and we're going to treat definitions. Thank you. Do a massive change history on the sentence. I can have this. Please treat all aspects until it's true. I will have this. I trust I'll have this. Please treat it all. Superconscious, please treat all body systems, the heart field, chakras, front and back, muscle memory, to a massive change history. Bring in that tree to its full image, new belief, through from just roots in the unconscious up into a full tree, fruit. Yeah, that's it. Superconscious, is there any resistance left over to this choice? Please bring all the identities, the people pleaser, protector, controller, the inner child, the victim. Superconscious, do you see all the identities? The I'm not allowed to have a life I love, the being sick is safe, all the identities causing resistance. And superconscious, please treat them into a massive change history in the perfect way, the perfect order. Great. Wow, cool. Just take some big breaths on that and let that just sort of settle and integrate for a second. And just feel that in your heart. If you do, you know, like it's big. Let's just do a quick check-in. We're not finished, but if you're able to, just open your eyes and say hi in the chat box. How are you guys going? Doing great, good, great. Hi, doing good. Feel relaxed, cried a lot, big release, awesome. Pain and heart is gone. Good, I'm great, in capitals, mellow. Don't know, doing good. Fascinated, yeah. We have 334 people on here, extremely emotional, relaxed, almost too relaxed, zen. This is the most revolutionary content you've ever. Energetic, big cry, want more. That's all right, Alex. We'll keep working on it. Pretty trippy, third eye visuals. Wow. So sometimes the protector controller is worried about letting go of this resistance. And the protector controller is an aspect of your personality that is designed to be the gatekeeper. And I just want to let it know that when it chooses to have more, it can always go back to less. Does that make sense? So if you only can choose shy, you can't be confident. But if you're allowed confidence, you can always go back to shy. Does that make sense? So if you're choosing a life you love, you can always choose a life you don't love. You see? So we're actually just having more. So I just want to tell that aspect. We're asking for more. We're actually going for more, not less. And so I hope that it feels good about the change process. We'll go through one more time. And we hope to get this down to, you know, as small resistance as feels comfortable today. So just clothe spacious, Nice. Okay, close your eyes, tune back in, give me permission again to connect. Oh, the field feels so different. Whew. So just step into that end result. Super conscious, are you there? Do I have permission to increase satisfaction and reduce pain? Great. I'd just like you to remember the football field metaphor and super conscious. Just think about that end result and having it now. Notice, is there any resistance left over? And we're going to create a big bubble of all resistance and then treat it. So super conscious, what emotions are causing resistance? Please bring all emotions, fears, worries, doubts into the bubble. Beliefs about self, beliefs about action, beliefs about the end result. Identities, broken promises, family history, definitions. Bring it all into a big bubble in the middle. Okay. Super conscious, can you treat it? Please treat everything in the gentle, easy, and perfect way down to 0. Do a massive change history, and everything is needed. Just breathe that through, allow it to go. In the field, there's a melting block of ice. It's just dripping and everything's just going away. And what's emerging is your truth. Your true power. Stay with your eyes closed, stay present, notice what's here. And now let's choose it. Let's choose to have this now. Let's choose to take the obvious action and to be it before we see it. Super conscious, please ground all the memories we've touched today, including memories 1, 2, and 3, quantum memories, tandem memories, ego states, and all of the aspects of consciousness. Please ground them into the matrix of the universe. Please tag all resistance between now and the next session for future treatment. Thank you. Please just take a few breaths and come on back. How are you all? Welcome back. Say hi when you're back. I'm so honored. Wow. Hi, crazy. Hi. Wow. I'm so honored to take you through this work. So structure is the stake. The superconscious recode is the sizzle. Pretty amazing process. Thank you. Thank you. Feeling energized. No words, profound. You guys rock. Too many fun. Okay, so where's everyone's resistance now? Can you type in the 2 numbers? What was it before and what was it now? That's trippy. Thanks for this. What was it before? 9 to 2, 8 to 2, 6 to 1, 7, 1. Oh, I can't keep up. 9, 0, 10, 7. Nice. Too many. 4, 0, 7, 2, 8, 3. Wow, cool. So some of you have had big shifts. Some of you have had small shifts, and some of you have really got something to work on here, right? If it was a really big boulder, you know, there's a lot to do with this. Someone says 0. You're awesome. You're awesome. Structure is important. Recode is important. And the best thing you can do, can I just ask? Wow, that's huge, Jenna. Overwhelming love. You guys rock. So here's my question. Who would love a one-on-one coach? That's everything I wanted to cover today. We have an absolutely amazing coaching team. 100 to 8. Yeah. And what a coach is going to do is help you create your dream life faster. Step into the right structure, remove the resistance, and then you flow so you can have success without struggle. Does this make sense? Now, we've only got about 30. I don't know how many people have actually gone and joined since I posted this in. So let me just talk a little. Some people have just clocked straight off. Who's still here? I just lost 20 people as soon as I said, oh, who'd like a coach? I guess the answer is no. Oh, well. I just want to say, having someone that helps you to get to where you want faster, that's not trying to fix you, that understands the right structure is everything, everything. So let me just show you the page. Oh, they popped off to get the link. I see. Okay. So I would love you to not be in self-sabotage and go through the 5 steps. Set true goals, create tension, step into the end result, and create a new identity to take that action. So we have 3 different levels. I'm not sure why that's cut off. If you haven't had a one-on-one session before, you can have your first session for $100. If you want to do 2 sessions a month, okay, it's $100 a week. You get 2 sessions a month. Plus, you're going to get a whole heap of recodes and things from me, group stuff. And if you want to go all in and do 4 sessions a month, it's $199 a week. So completely up to you how you want to play this. If you haven't had a session yet, just grab an introductory session. Just click, I want to get started. You'll work with the same coach, okay, no matter what. And I want to just share, this is just simply the best deal you'll ever see. I don't know about you guys, but you've probably been on courses and stuff. And then at the end of it, they say, oh, this is going to be, you know, $100,000 for the year. We've got amazing coaches. For us, it's about making a huge difference. So here's what I want to say. If you're even half interested, get on an intro session and get yourself a coach. It changed my life, but not just having someone who thinks you need to be fixed. Do not get a coach if you think that we're going to fix you. We're not. We're going to shift you into a new structure. We're going to let go of who you've been. If you don't use it anymore, then you don't need it. You will lose it. Hebb's principle. So we'll let go. We'll step into it. There's a huge amount of meditations. There are only 30 something spots. I'm sure there's under 30 available right now. When they're gone, they're gone. I've only got so many coaches. There's only so much here. So who's in? Have you got the link? Take action, go and do it. I really would hate for you to miss out if this is something you really would like to do. I've made it absolutely affordable. Each session is about an hour. So this is amazing. If you put this in perspective of other things, this is just the best deal you ever see. I am thinking in the future of bringing on more coaches. Right now, that is all we have available. So who is in? Who is in? Yeah. Awesome. You had a good session yesterday, Jeff? Awesome. Someone says they want me as I can't do coaching anymore because I gotta run this whole movement. So I do the events and I run group sessions where you can be on with me. It's very important to hear this. My coaches are just as good as me because this isn't about being personal. It's simply a structure. Does that make sense? It's simply a process, and it's not Chris magic. I learned this. I understood it. I put it together. But I think that there's at least 2 of the coaches are pulling off sessions way better than me. And one of the coaches, I won't share which one, is actually the person that works on me. So is my coach, keeps me in the right structure. Because here's the thing, it doesn't matter about them. It doesn't matter what they've achieved. They've just got to know how to keep you in the creative structure. True. So I hope you had a great session. The link is here. I think we're going to text it to you as well. And you can do the training. We have a group program too, the masterclass. This is the first time I've offered any one-on-one stuff. So if you're hearing this, if you're in the masterclass, you're in the certification, anything else, this is the first time I've ever offered one-on-one stuff. And so if you want it, we've got amazing coaches available there. Grab an intro session if you've never done it before. The link is here. I'm typing it in. If you've done an intro session though, you only get the intro session once. It's half price, and then you do it. You're awesome, Penny. Ordered a session. You can, Joanne, but the coach that you get is going to be able to help you the most, because they understand you. So there's some shortcuts they can take. Awesome. So how was that for a Thursday night or a Friday day? I think you guys all had a really good one today. So let me just recap. The world has got it wrong. The coaching industry has got it wrong. The structure they put you in, there is no way to win in that structure. You must step into a creative structure, not a problem structure. Once you step into the creative structure, there's simply 5 steps. Okay, what do I want? Where am I now? How would it feel? What's the next step? Is there any resistance? Let's recode, and then let's take action. Does this make sense? There are 4 key orientations we start with. I choose a life I love. I choose to be the predominant creative force in my life. I choose health and vitality. And lastly, my true nature and purpose. Once you're living from those 4, then you can turn your thoughts into reality. If you're not living from those 4, you will always be in the old orientation. So thanks for sticking with me on this 2-hour session. I just freaking love you. I just love you. And the one-on-one sessions are very potent. So if you got a lot out of this session, which had 340 something at its peak, there's 159 on right now. If you the 4 are very important. You get there first. So if you got a lot out of a big group one, you wait until one of my coaches is just focused on your superconscious. They are so potent. They move you so much. But remember, anything you do in the wrong structure will just reinforce it. So please only take coaching if you're ready to let go of needing to fix yourself and step into creation. I love you. Be magnetic. Choose to have it all now. Choose to create what you love. Please follow me on YouTube. This session was put up on YouTube. I might leave it up for the next couple of days. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'll put the link on. And if it's still here, enjoy it, and then get yourself a coach. Really, your life will move so much faster. You have someone saying, no, that's you making it personal. No, that's you trying to fix yourself, and holding you to a new reality. You can cancel coaching anytime. So maybe you sign up, you say, you know what, I want to get 2 sessions a month. I want to get 4 sessions a month. I am serious about this new structure. I'm going all in. And then maybe after 6 months, you're like, you know what, I'm going to go down to 2. Okay. So you could choose whatever you like. There's no problems there. I love you all. There's way too many questions. So look, get an intro session. It's $100, and you can ask questions with them. At the end of that, they'll simply ask you if you want to do 2 sessions a month or 4 sessions a month, or if you just want to do our group. So that's the best place to take your questions. I kind of didn't realize how many questions there'd be when I said that I would do questions at the end. Someone says, how long does it take to work? Well, as soon as you're in the right structure, then you're going to be flowing towards what you want. And so you start having it straight away. You start having it now. Hey, thanks guys. Thanks for being here. If this is our first and last time being together, I'd love you to leave me a review or anything. Care about you a lot. Hope to see you in the coaching. Hope to see you at a live event one time. Have an amazing rest of your evening, day. And please, if you're half interested, go get yourself a coach. It will be the best decision you've ever made. Promise. We will not let you down. It will be so, so, so good. Go be it. Go be it. I love you. You got this. With a coach, you'll just get there faster. There is nothing wrong with you. You're absolutely perfect. You don't need fixing. Bye.